When you're at home and you turn on the tap to take a shower, to do the dishes, to wash your face, do you ever think of where the water coming out of the faucet is coming from? Or actually what it takes to get there? Well, if you're like most people, you probably think there's an endless supply of fresh, clean water. After all, the only thing you have to do is turn on the tap, right? Sometimes the things we take for status quo are the things we have to remember are nature's gifts. You know, just a few short hundred years ago, fresh, clean water coming out of the tap was considered a luxury. That's right. In 1782, when Father Junipero Serra founded Mission San Buenaventura, there was no water system to deliver fresh water to the home, even in existence. The first attempt to design such a water distribution system was a complicated feat. The Chumash Indians, who were the local inhabitants at the time, were employed by the Mission Fathers to build a 7-mile-long aqueduct using gravity flow from a dam close to the San Antonio Creek and Ventura River Junction. This aqueduct was built on an ancient Roman design to transport water to the mission grounds. The water flow from the aqueduct was taken through pipes and open ditches to washrooms and fountains for domestic use. The rest of the aqueduct was an open ditch along the hillsides. Portions of this aqueduct remain today. Ventura incorporated as a city in 1866. At the time, the town trustees recognized the importance of constructing a water system that would benefit the needs of a growing community. From 1869 to 1917, the water distribution system was franchised to a number of different contractors until Southern California Edison came aboard to run the water operations. By 1921, Edison recognized that the water distribution system had many infrastructure problems: lack of water pressure in many parts of the city, the presence of silt, fish, and eels in the domestic water supply, bad taste and odors in the drinking water. So Edison requested the authorization to increase water rates in order to make extensive improvements, including the installation of a new metering system. By 1923, the city decided to operate the water systems and services in-house, and Ventura Water was born. At this time, the water source was mainly the Ventura River. However, as the city continued to grow, new water sources were sought. Some wells were drilled into various locations throughout the city, and pumps were installed to collect water from the deep underground. Despite the operation of the new wells adding to the water supply, the demand for high-quality domestic water continued to rise. During the late 1930s, as a solution to the growing need for water, city officials began plans for a water treatment plant. Then in December 1938, the construction contract was awarded to Gates and Huntley of Los Angeles. Land adjacent to the power reservoir was purchased by the city for the treatment plant, washwater basin, and other improvements. 1939 welcomed Ventura's first modern Water Avenue treatment plant. When Lake Casitas was constructed by the Casitas Municipal Water District in 1960, the city entered into an agreement to purchase 6,000 acre-feet of treated drinking water from Casitas annually. Also during the 50s and 60s, the city was expanding east quickly. To accommodate growing water demand, the existing water system of the Saticoy Water Company was purchased. Since then, the city has worked to join the two systems to improve the reliability of the overall water infrastructure and operations. In 2007, the original Avenue Water Treatment Plant constructed in 1939 was decommissioned, and a new modern ultrafiltration membrane plant was put into service to ensure safe, clean water for the next generation. While that covers Ventura's drinking water history, city officials had to contend with the disposal of sewage. That was just as big a concern to a growing modern community. Public health issues and smells meant that action was needed. In 1888, a basic collection system was in place, taking sewage away from city structures, leading into one pipe that went directly into the ocean. By 1929, officials realized it was important to remove waste solids from the line from the home before waste was deposited into the ocean. As a result, the city built the first screening plant near the current fairgrounds location. At this time, only one other city on the California coast, the city of Los Angeles, had such an operation. 2 decades later, a more advanced primary plant replaced the first. This plant provided more environmental benefits by removing sedimentation in addition to solids. This plant treated wastewater from Ventura Avenue, downtown and midtown, until it was decommissioned in 1972. Meanwhile, in 1959, the East Side Biofiltration Plant was built between Ventura Harbor and the mouth of the Santa Clara River where it meets the ocean. This secondary plant was constructed to treat the flow of sewage from Ventura's growing East Side. By 1972, Ventura's wastewater plant was completely upgraded and began treating the flows from the city's west side, too. It was at this point that it was renamed the Ventura Water Reclamation Facility. Since then, it has remained Ventura's sole wastewater facility and has undergone almost continual capital and treatment process upgrades to improve the quality of water released into the Santa Clara River estuary. To this day, it is estimated that Ventura has invested nearly $100 million in the facility to meet increasingly stringent regulations and to protect the natural environment. Today, Ventura is one of California's largest cities that relies 100% on local water supplies. Since the days of the mission, Ventura has provided water from adjacent shallow wells and surface diversion and subsurface collectors. The Avenue Water Treatment Facility, constructed in 2007, treats this water source with membrane ultrafiltration before delivering it into the distribution system. Treated water is also purchased from the CASITAS Municipal Water District, the operator of Lake Casitas. This source enters the distribution system on the city's west side. Water is also pumped from groundwater wells located throughout the city. The groundwater sources are treated at either the Bailey or Satakoy water conditioning facilities with pre-chlorination and direct media filtration. Today, Ventura Water owns and operates 11 groundwater wells, 3 water treatment plants, 2 treated water connections from Lake Casitas, 23 booster pump stations, 31 storage reservoirs, more than 3,700 fire hydrants, and 380 miles of distribution pipelines. Because Ventura's beautiful coast has hilly and varying terrain, and the fact that water has to be pumped at certain pressures to move within the pipes, the city has 14 pressure zones throughout the city to ensure water flows properly through the pipe infrastructure system to your home or business. Almost 300 miles of sewer collection mains lead to the city's sole wastewater treatment facility, the Ventura Water Reclamation Facility. This plant treats an average of 9 million gallons of wastewater every day to strict standards before releasing the water into the sensitive Santa Clara River estuary at the mouth of the Pacific Ocean. From the days of Ventura's founding fathers, abundant, fresh, clean running water has always been a cherished natural resource. Over time, effective infrastructure methods of delivering clean water, as well as the careful distribution, transport, and the treatment of wastewater, has also been essential to Ventura. As your neighbor in this community, Ventura Water is dedicated to protecting and preserving our precious life-giving water resources for today and the generations yet to come. Ventura Water, your trusted life source for generations.